All right, good job. We got Ox. Ox is rolling. Fredericks is rolling. We're good. We're all rolling. Thanks for playing that song, Tyler. And let's also want to thank Marcy McCarthy for feeding Sammy. Throw a picture of our cat up there in his honor. Here we got Sammy coming up. We got where is he? There we go. It's coming up, I think, sometime in the near future.
You got the cat cam going on there?
We got the cat cams going on.
One of those alarms that goes off when he eats food.
Oh God! No.
A friend of mine's got a cat dish alarm. Wherever he is in the planet, he hears when his cat is eating.
Well, Tyler said he had the Sammy thing ready, but he doesn't. So we'll move on. Listen, this segment brought to you by our great friends at the Wellness Company. Go to twc.health.com. Now, look, if you think I look good, it's because I've lost weight. I've lost 40 pounds starting in June of 2024. So I don't know how long that is, 18, 20 months. I've lost 40 pounds. I got another 20 to go. And I couldn't do this without TWC. Go to twc.com/Godzilla. twchealth.com. If you could put that Chiron up, put that up on screen, Tyler, twc.health/Godzilla. And their weight loss product there. I don't like to take the jab. I'm not into that. But I tell you what, they have a new weight loss pill. I used to take the drops. Now they converted that. You take it every day, keeps your blood sugar honest, keeps it straight, so it keeps it consistent. And I've had tremendous success with it. At my age, to lose that amount of weight, and I got another 20 to go. I went from 285 to 245, trying to get to 225. Couldn't do it without him. Plus, you get your doctor to monitor this on a weekly basis, on an every 2-week basis. So all you got to do is go to twc.health/Godzilla, get their weight loss product there. You got to go through a doctor because it is prescribed. You take it every day, take one little pill every day, 7 days a week. And it's better than GLC because you're not taking a jab and your blood sugar is not spiking up and down. And then by the end of the week, you're getting hungry till the jab comes again, is what people have told me. With the weight loss product from TWC, it's every day, consistent. You take one of them, you're good to go, and it's had I've had tremendous success with it. So check it out. Go to twc.health/Godzilla. Promo code Godzilla, and you're going to get 10% off. Promo code Godzilla, 10% off. Let's get to Ox. Ox, tell me about what you think about now the Democrats wanting us to lose, not open the government, TSA agents can't get paid. How are they getting away with this?
Yeah, that's a weird one. Boy, this TSA agent deal is really a weird one. And they really can't run away from it. This is the Schumer shutdown, make no mistake about it. This and the last one, really. I don't need to listen to professional analysts on TV talking about this. We're all seeing it. It's not working for the Democrats. What this does, John, this proves, and we can be as cynical as we want to and criticize Democrats and whatever, but this does prove undeniably that they're in it for themselves. They're out of touch with the American person. And forgive me, all you TSA workers, God bless you for working for free. But it's the inconvenience of us going to airports and the average citizenry. As we went to the airport, flying out here yesterday, we didn't know what we were going to find. Huge lines at MSB. Luckily, I'm an elite, the Ox, so they escorted me to the front of the line because I'm with my lovely wife, Jan, who has another appointment. She's in high demand, so she couldn't be on this segment. But it's not fair to the citizenry. It's not fair to us, the American public. And I'm looking at these people at Hartsfield-Jackson or whatever, and they're 4 hours in line. Where could you drive? Okay, so it took you how long to get to the airport? Right, an hour from your house, whatever it is. So you got 5
Plus, you got to park.
Yeah, so you've got 5.5 hours before you even get onto a plane. Then you get onto a plane. By the time you get to where you're going, you could have driven. Nobody's talking about that.
Or taking Amtrak.
Yeah, or taking Amtrak. The impact to the American person, the average life, 40-some days of this. This is what Democrats are all about. They're totally out of touch. Shame on them. And they've got to answer to the public. And I can't believe they're getting away with it. But I think it's on them, and people are noticing.
That's right. And now you're just going to get gouged by everybody as well. Everybody trying to take advantage of this one way or the other.
They're not serving us. They're not serving the people.
They never serve us. I mean, they serve themselves. And this is why this is why the divide is becoming greater, and where I think you and I are onto something, because we have stayed true to talking to people while no one else is doing it, especially them or anybody here, right? Nobody talks to anybody except us. And I really think as we shake out into 28, there's going to be a revival of conversation, if that makes sense.
I hope so.
Conversation.
I hope you're right.
Yeah, I know it is. Because right now, everything is one way pushed at you. Podcast, all the fake news, the gotcha questions we deal with in the White House Correspondents Association and in the briefing room. It's all pushed at you. And all we're looking for is a conversation. And if you look at what's going on, it's becoming more and more difficult to just talk through things, because everybody just wants to push their agenda and then attack. I mean, I was given this, I was on a conference call the other day, and the same thing happened. Somebody had an idea and they immediately attacked the person personally, right? They just attack, because that's the mode that we're in now.
Yeah.
Everybody's just attacking everybody. And so there's no conversation and there's no interest in what real people are saying.
The old Rush Limbaugh analogy, and I am a highly trained talk radio personality for a quarter of a century. I've had more consultants than Carter's had little liver pills, right? But over the years, one thing that I really internalized is the Rush Limbaugh idea that you're not the sun. A lot of people go into this business saying, I'm going to be the sun. I'm going to radiate. I got so much stuff to say. I'm going to blah, 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 blah. I can't wait to just show you how much I know. No, you want to be the moon. You want to reflect back the sun. You're the sun. Viewers, listeners, us, we're the sun as a collective. I want to reflect back to you as the moon what you're thinking, help kind of articulate it, put it into perspective. And we're having a conversation here. We're having a back and forth. The reflection back of the moon, that's what you're looking for, and that's what we do, I think, at least that's what I try to do, and that's what dialogue is. And you're so right. Everything is the sun now. It's just, everything's just, here, we're going to radiate this, radiate that. You take it whether you want it or not. You get in the shade by turning it off, maybe, but there's no reflection back to what you're thinking. They're telling you what to think. And that's what we've lost, I think, in that art. We lost a big one with Rush Limbaugh, that's for sure.
Well, we lost it with only having 6 radio shows here at CPAC,
right.
which was built on Radio Row.
Absolutely.
And then they changed it to Media Row, and things started going to TV, which is fine. But they built CPAC on Radio Row. I mean, fair that we used to go to in DC every year would have 50, when they would pay for them. So a lot of the little smaller companies got to come because they pay your airfare and things of that nature. So they paid for you to get there. They paid for your parking. They paid for your hotel. So they'd have a Radio Row and have 70 people, 80 broadcasters there. And that's how they got their message out. And now we come to CPACs and there's 6 radio shows, where they're used to. Last year there was probably 76. So this, I mean, it's just like, okay, and where are we going with this?
This, I don't mean to make light of it, but one of the saddest things is that one of the radio shows, the guy died last year. The Alan Nathan show, right? God bless Alan Nathan. He was one of my favorites. But his show is still here, and he's not even alive anymore. So one of the 6 that's here isn't even here. Joe Pags is here at the Ox, and I don't know who else.
We are.
That's about it.
Anyway, let's get to the phone lines. We're talking about talking to people. Let's get to John in Virginia. John, you're live with John and the Ox.
Do I need to hear John?
Hey, good morning.
Here.
Good morning. I was going to tell you, one of the problems when you have a female on, nobody wants to talk on the phones. They'd rather sit there and watch the female.
That's correct.
So when Mrs. Ox was there, Mrs. Ox kind of took away from maybe some of your calls. But one of my questions I have a question. I was reading here recently where the Iranians had launched like 100 missiles towards a single target. The president made a comment that they had shot them all down. Now, my question is with
network?
Are the Iranians, are they trying to get us to deplete our stocks, or how are we, what with your contacts, John or Ox? What have you heard about being able to replenish our stockpile of surface-to-air missiles like the Patriots, the THAAD, or that? How are we getting our missile inventory back up? if we're shooting if we're shooting everything down. I mean, to me, it seems like the Iranians may be going towards a war of attrition on some of the targeting before they launch these heavy barrages where you can't take everything down, and a lot of them get through. Have you heard anything on how we're replenishing our stockpiles, either of you?
It looks like John messed with the internet when he was adding the headphones. 1 second, John in Southwest Virginia. Right when he was answering, the internet cut out. 1 sec. So he heard the question.
And be back.
Okay, you guys are back.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Dan. I didn't get to hear what John said. I was
okay. Yeah. Well, just
trying to figure the audio out.
Well, he's saying basically, if we're firing all these missiles, at what point do we run out? Like, what is our stockpile? How are we restocking this? I thought of that this morning. What was it overnight or the news of the 100 missiles that they launched at us? We shot all of them down. And I got to thinking, how many missiles do we have defensively compared to what the world has offensively? Like, could we still shoot down every missile that might be shot at us? And I don't have the answer to that. We're not hearing about that. We are hearing that there's a full court press on the Pentagon, or on the Congress by the Pentagon, to fund, obviously, the manufacture of more of these weapons. But we're not hearing any issue of supply right now, other than that, moving forward, obviously, we're going to have to replenish this. Tells you the magnitude of our firepower. I mean, if we're able to fire off these missiles, we're not worried about running out somehow. We need Congress to fund, right, obviously, to build them up again. But think of what we have to defend this country.
When do they run out?
Yeah,
that's my question. When does Iran run out?
And so that's maybe a great point. If Iran isn't going to run out anytime soon, we sure as hell aren't going to. I mean, there's no chance Iran has more offensive missiles than we have defensive missiles. No chance.
Don't you think that them firing these ICBMs into Israel and getting through the defenses, and now Israel looks at the missiles and say they can hit London, and the London Telegraph came out today and said their ICBMs could hit us today, and we have no defense. Doesn't that reinforce the president's initiative to go in there and take them out?
It should be an aha moment for the naysayers, because if you're looking at the Iranians saying, "Well, we didn't need to do this," they've been telling us for years, "Well, we don't have nuclear weapons. We might be trying to enrich some uranium. We don't have nuclear weapons. We don't have missiles that can reach the European capitals." Now we find out they've been lying to us the entire time. They have tons of missiles that can reach any European capital, and they have enriched uranium to the point where they can make, I forget what the number is, but an estimate is somewhere like upwards of a dozen nuclear bombs. So they have the missiles and they have the uranium to make the nuclear bombs if they want to. They were minutes away, right? Days away from having the possibility to hold the world ransom again.
Certainly not. Certainly the president didn't go in there on a whim, okay? And it has nothing to do with Netanyahu or Israel. Mm-hmm. Israel knew this. That's why, remember, Netanyahu went to the White House, meet with Trump. He wasn't going to say this over the phone. He gave him the intel. They knew how close Iran was to being able to deploy this or something close to it. And Netanyahu made the decision, I'm going in. So it's either you going with us or not, but we're not going to sit here and get annihilated. We're going to do something about it. And so, the president got the intel and made the decision to do it, which nobody made in 50 years. And now, we have to finish the job. I don't happen to believe that regime change is finishing the job. I'm not sure how we do that, nor do I care. But as long as they don't have any more capability, but if you look at the amount of ICBMs that they fired yesterday, 100
in one barrage.
In one barrage, ICBMs. How many do they have? 10,000?
Yeah.
We don't even know.
Yeah.
So the danger, this crazy regime posed to the world was huge. Coupled with the fact, why are they controlling the Strait of Hormuz for 50 years?
Well,
none of this makes sense.
And that's the rub. It's one of the things that you look at this and say, okay, all these years, now we've been watching Iran. we've had, 50, like you say, almost 50 years to figure out how to protect the Strait of Hormuz. That, I believe that's what held up a lot of presidents from doing this, because they're looking at the strait going, how do we defend, if we can clear the strait, make sure that the oil and the goods keep going through there, then we can take out Iran. It's a chess game, right? You position your players. How, and I mean, maybe it's Trump, you can blame Trump, but I mean, how have we as a country over the past 50 years, how has the world not figured out a way so that when we're ready to go to finally take out this regime in Iran, that we can also make sure the Strait of Hormuz flows smoothly? That's pretty much, I would assume, the stumbling block for all these years. After a half a century, we still haven't figured that out. That's a miscalc.
I mean, look, 50 years, Trump's the first one to do it, and the Democrats are rooting for us to lose. It's just unbelievable to me.
Yeah, it is.
And there's not, like you said, there should be a aha moment.
Yep.
Like, whoa, look, Trump was right.
He was right. They were lying to us.
But
the whole
they're
time.
still doing the nonsense.
And I get criticized for citing too many polls. I cite polls simply for conversation piece to bring up the conversation. But I just saw one yesterday, and it's exactly 88-12 Republicans supporting Trump's actions in Iran, 12% not. Democrats 12-88. Opposite. How does that memo go out? How does the Democrat memo go out? And all I can think of is, you know what? It means they're only watching MSNBC and CNN. They're not getting a broad-based news, or they're listening to their favorite podcasts. That's all they're hearing. If all you're hearing is the bad and what's going on here, then how you expected to feel any different?
I mean, when you look at what you just said about the polls, right? Republicans 88-12 believe Trump did the right thing. Democrats 12-88 believe he did the right thing. So they're exactly flipped. I mean, is that Trump derangement syndrome? Yep. Is it just one-way conversation?
Yep.
Like, it should be, 60-40 both ways. 88-12?
Yeah, 88-12.
Like, what is, how do you even explain that?
Yep.
The division in this country is just, I mean, this is a war. I mean, what we were going to wait until an ICBM hit like Washington, D.C. or Miami Beach? I mean, what the hell are what are you thinking?
What are they thinking?
What are they thinking?
Again, they're only getting their information
and
from
you have to
their
ask yourself,
hand-picked sources.
Let's say this was Biden. Biden did this. Would it be the exact opposite? 88% of Republicans thought it was wrong. 88% of Democrats think it was right. I mean, is that where we are now?
Like, it might be.
I bet it would be the exact opposite.
Might be, yeah.
Because that's a problem on our side. Because I bet it would be if Biden was, Biden did it's wrong. No, it's bad. We're all going to die. Democrats say, well, Biden's the first president to do this in 50 years. He had the balls to do it, as old as he is. So you'd see I bet you see the opposite. What a sad state we're in. Because nobody will talk to anybody. And if you try to have a conversation, you get attacked. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if there is a conversation, it's a conversation that we've been trained that it's a competition, right? You're not just exchanging ideas and walking away. You're competing. One's got to walk away a winner. One's got to walk away a loser in the conversation. And that's not how conversations work. That's not how things get done.
No, and that's why we can't get anything done in Congress. And the fact that, we still can't open the government. You can't pass the SAVE Act. I mean, it's just, we won't get rid of the filibuster. We had a conversation earlier that I'm convinced now that the majority of Republicans want to lose. They're happy in the minority. They're not accountable for anything. They go on Fox News. They can complain and bitch. They don't have to do anything because they're not accountable. I think they want to lose, and they're waiting Trump out.
Wow. Thinking outside the box, not with the ox, but with John Fredericks. I don't know about that. Maybe Republicans do seem to.
I don't think the House does.
Yeah,
the
Senate have a habit of being in the minority.
The Senate, to me, the Republican Senate is the biggest joke in the history of the Republic. I don't even know what they stand for. I don't even know why they're there. Like, what do they do? The fact that Kennedy had this bill out of committee to we don't get paid until TSA gets paid, and you had some weasel Democrat from Hawaii, Shantz, or run down and say, I object, and then peed his pants and ran out, and then nobody did anything. The problem is telling you, well, and then the guy presiding over it, Banks, well, okay, well, guess we can't have this vote. Ha ha ha! We got to go home now so we can get paid.
I tell you
I mean,
what,
have you ever seen anything like this?
The first photograph or the first video of some of these senators on the beach, right, with their family, doing things, whatever, for their vacation, and juxtapose that with these TSA agents. Every time they show a TSA agent, right, they're scowling, their hair's messy, and they look like they haven't had a shower, and they're homeless, but they're still at work working. Put those two side by side, 2 weeks of this. If this actually happens, if they don't fix TSA in the next 6 hours, I don't know how many hours they got.
It's been
today?
35 days,
right?
38 days. I mean, imagine going 2 months without getting paid, and then somebody gets on TV and says, "Well, everybody should have like a 3-month nest egg in the bank, so you get like what? Who the hell in this economy has got 3 months nest egg? I got 3 days. I got 3. Like what planet do you live on?
Yeah.
They should have. They should have planned for this. They're making
$55,000. Their fault.
What do you mean that they have a 3-month nest egg? Nobody's got this. I just heard that. I'm like, you guys are so out of touch with reality of how people are suffering. You make $60,000 with a family. You don't have a 3-month nest egg. The hell's got that? Nobody.
Amen to that.
Just ridiculous. I mean, the whole thing is, it's an embarrassment. We're like a banana republic.
That's what we are, absolutely. Especially, again, if they actually go on vacation for 2 weeks without funding the government.
Oh, that's what they're going to do.
Wow.
They'll be at the beach. They'll be Easter. They'll be go. Look at me at church. I'm at church. Look at me. Here's my video with me going to church and praying. And, I'm very religious. Meantime, TSA agents have no Easter dinner. They're sleeping in their cars. They're selling their blood because you feckless weasels. And forget the Democrats. They're communists. Forget them. This is us. This is the Republicans. You won't even break the filibuster to get these people paid. So get out of my face, all of you people. House, different. Look at what Johnson has done with a 1-seat majority. 1 seat, because you take out Massey. Look what he's done. He's passed everything.
Good call. But I'll credit the whip for that.
Tom Emmer, baby.
Yeah, that's the whip.
He's the man. Hey, high five to Tom Emmer.
That's their job.
That guy's my hero. Yep. He is a beast.
My congressman.
He's a congressman? You're lucky, man.
Yeah, he's my congressman.
I love that guy.
He's
coming on my show tomorrow via Restream.
Good.
Because, nobody can come here because it's closed. It's nobody here. I mean, what time is it? It is 7:40 Central Time. If we were in D.C. at 7:40, I would have a lineup of people trying to get on my show. A lineup, right?
Oh, yeah.
Line at the door, having coffee, want to get on.
To the point where you're so frazzled. I mean, by the end of CPAC.
Peace here. We said, you got to manage. You got to manage all this for Peace. There's
nothing
to manage.
Machines and
because this is what we're accustomed to. Now, but there's nobody here.
Nobody here.
3 coffee machines.
I'll have another cup then.
Okay. Ox wants new coffee.
Yeah,
you can dump that.
But I better go set up my show.
You got to go sit up. All right, we're going to go to a break. Ox, thank you.
Come over to booth 3.
I'll come over to the Ox booth.
All right, hot talk
say hi
with
to
the
Jan.
Ox.
Hot talk with the Ox coming up at booth 3. Meantime, we're going to go to a word from our sponsors as there's no one here. Let's get Larry on our show. Right? He'll be the hit. Larry, the driver, be my number 1 guest. Ox, thank you. We're going to be right back.
All right, buddy.